A Fox News alert. Israel boycotting ceasefire negotiations yesterday as Hamas terrorists reportedly refused to provide a list of the hostages still alive in captivity. The news coming as top Israel cabinet member Benny Gantz traveled to Washington to meet with President Biden's administration members, including VP Harris later today. So what's next for Israel? And is this administration trying to divide the Israeli government? Joining us now, former IDF spokesperson and senior fellow at the FDD, Jonathan Conricus. Jonathan, great to see you again. First off, why is Benny Gantz coming here when Benjamin Netanyahu's far-right Likud party spokesperson said this was an unauthorized visit? And Netanyahu reportedly said it's going to be that we can only have one prime minister at a time in a tough conversation he had with Benny Gantz before he left. What's going on here?
Yeah, good morning. I hope you can hear me well.
I can.
I'm in southern Israel, in Sderot, close to the action, close to Gaza. So it's no secret that the strategic ties between Israel and the U.S. are of the utmost importance for Israel and for regional stability. And as such, I think all Israeli parties are trying to do the best with the current situation and perhaps most importantly, alleviate pressure from the U.S., which is leveled on Israel, in order to be forced into this deal that is now being spoken about a lot and that Israel really wants to release our hostages. But we find ourselves in a situation where Hamas are making preposterous demands, perhaps banking on the fact that they know that there's a lot of pressure on Israel. And I think that the visit of Minister Gantz is part of the effort to try to alleviate some of that and get a better bargaining position for Israel.
Do you believe Prime Minister Netanyahu wants him to go or not? Is this spokesperson wrong saying that he did not want him to go?
I think it serves the eventual purpose of getting Israelis home, and that is what eventually matters the most. Politics are important for politicians. What Israelis care about is getting Israelis back home and winning the war. And we've gone too many nights and days, and the families are waiting for their loved ones to be returned from the hell that Hamas is keeping them. And in my mind, I think that any means are justified here in order to further the chances of us getting them home and winning the war.
I don't know why don't you answer the question, though? Does Netanyahu want Benny Gantz to go? And is this an attempt by this administration to defy the Israeli government, who clearly have a problem with your prime minister?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what the prime minister prefers and what he doesn't prefer, but I think that this cabinet is more or less focused on defeating Hamas and trying to get the best conditions possible for getting Israelis home. I think a big challenge that we have ahead of us is the issue of Rafah. There are that needs to be taken, it needs to be done, but the IDF has been told to wait and wait and wait until the deal is made in order to deliver the final and decisive blow against Hamas. And in military terms, that is never a good thing when you lose momentum and when you stop in your tracks.
I hear you. Here's our vice president calling on you guys to stop fighting. Watch.
I will repeat. The threat of Hamas poses to the people of Israel must be eliminated. And given the immense scale of suffering in Gaza, there must be an immediate ceasefire. For at least the next 6 weeks, which is what is currently on the table.
Can Hamas be defeated if you don't go into Rafah?
The short answer is no. Hamas cannot and will not be defeated until the IDF takes Rafah, dismantles the tunnels that have been running weapons into Gaza for the last 15, 20 years through Egypt. Without those tunnels closed, Hamas has a way out, and it has a way to build its future capabilities. And trying to argue otherwise would be not telling the truth. We need to win this war. We need to defeat Hamas in a decisive way for them and all other terrorists to understand what fate awaits them when you cross the border into Israel, when you massacre 1,200 Israelis, mostly civilians. They cannot be allowed to live and see the light of another day. the war could end very quickly. And as the vice president says, ceasefire can and is within reach. If Hamas surrenders, if they turn over the hostages unconditionally, and if the Hamas coward leaders emerge from underground under their hiding underneath Israeli civilians, the war would end, I think, very quickly because Israelis want to get on with living. But that isn't the case, and the decision here is by Hamas, and it is simply no way of ending the war without defeating Hamas, and defeating Hamas comes after we take Rafah.
Right, and all those civilians, every civilian death is a tragedy, but it's Hamas is to blame. You guys are dropping flyers, text messages, making calls. You're providing corridors to exit. It's up to Hamas to do it, but instead they keep people in harm's way because they cower in basements of schools and hospitals. Jonathan, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, and have a good morning.
All right, stay safe.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.